Picture this: you're cruising down the highway, windows down, favorite song playing, feeling absolutely unstoppable, and then suddenly you feel it, that subtle wobble, that strange vibration through the steering wheel, or maybe you hear a sound you've never noticed before, and in that split second, your mind races to one question: are my tires okay? Here's the thing most people don't realize until it's way too late. Your tires are literally the only part of your car that touches the road, the only thing standing between you and complete disaster, and yet they're probably the most ignored part of your entire vehicle. Today, we're diving deep into something that could actually save your life, your wallet, and a whole lot of headaches, because I'm going to show you exactly how to know when it's time to replace your tires, and trust me, some of these signs are going to surprise you. Let me start with a story that'll make your heart skip a beat. Last summer, a friend of mine was driving home from work, same route he takes every single day, nothing unusual, nothing different, except his tires were way past their prime and he had no idea. He hit a small puddle, the kind you'd normally drive through without thinking twice, but because his tire tread was completely worn down, he lost control in an instant. The car hydroplaned, spun across 2 lanes, and ended up in a ditch. He walked away without a scratch, pure luck, but his car was totaled. When the mechanic inspected what was left, he said those tires should have been replaced at least 6 months earlier. 6 months of driving on borrowed time. That's when it hit me: most of us have no clue what to look for, and we're all driving around thinking everything's fine until something goes terribly wrong. So let's talk about the most famous test everyone's heard of but hardly anyone actually does: the penny test. You take a regular penny, flip it so Abraham Lincoln's head is pointing down, and stick it into the tread groove of your tire. If you can see the top of Lincoln's head, your tread is dangerously shallow and you need new tires immediately. But here's what nobody tells you: by the time the penny test fails, you're already in the danger zone. Professional mechanics actually recommend replacing tires before you even get to that point. The legal minimum tread depth in most places is about 2/32 of an inch, but the real sweet spot for safety, especially in wet conditions, is actually 4/32 of an inch. That's double the legal limit.
Why?
Because when your tread gets that low, your car can't channel water away from the tire surface anymore, and that's exactly how hydroplaning happens, just like what happened to my friend. Now let me show you something even cooler that most people never notice. Your tires actually come with built-in warning systems called tread wear indicators, and they've been there this whole time hiding in plain sight. If you look closely at your tire, you'll see these little bars molded into the grooves between the tread blocks. They're usually pretty subtle, sitting lower than the surrounding tread, but as your tire wears down, these bars start becoming level with the tread surface. The moment those bars are flush with your tread, boom, that's your tire telling you it's retirement time. It's like your tire is waving a white flag saying, "I've done my job, but I can't protect you anymore." Most drivers never even know these exist, and they're literally driving around with their tires screaming for help. But tread depth isn't the whole story, not even close. Age is a silent killer when it comes to tires, and this is where things get really interesting. You could have a tire that looks absolutely perfect, deep tread, no visible damage, looks brand new sitting in your garage, but if that tire is more than 6 years old, it's starting to become a liability.
Why?
Because rubber breaks down over time. It doesn't matter if you're driving on it or not. The oils in the rubber evaporate, the material becomes brittle, and tiny cracks start forming that you might not even see with your naked eye. Most tire manufacturers actually recommend replacing tires every 6 to 10 years regardless of how they look, and some say even sooner if you live in a hot climate where the sun beats down on your tires every single day, literally cooking them from the outside in. Here's how you find out how old your tires actually are, and this is super simple but almost nobody knows about it. On the sidewall of every tire, there's a code called the DOT number. It looks like a bunch of random letters and numbers, but the last 4 digits are pure gold. Those 4 numbers tell you exactly when your tire was manufactured. The first 2 digits are the week, and the last 2 are the year. So if you see 2319, that means your tire was made in the 23rd week of 2019. Do the math, and you'll know exactly how old your rubber is. I checked mine last week and found out my spare tire, the one I've never used and thought was perfectly fine, was actually manufactured in 2014. That's over a decade old. Even though it's never touched pavement, it's basically a time bomb waiting to fail when I need it most. Let's talk about something you can see and feel: cracks and bulges. Walk around your car right now and really look at your tires, not just a quick glance, but get down there and inspect them. Are there any cracks in the sidewall? Even small ones? Those cracks are called dry rot or weather checking, and they happen when the rubber loses its flexibility. They might look harmless, like little spider webs creeping across the surface, but they compromise the entire structure of the tire. Now look for bulges or blisters. These are spots where the tire looks like it's swelling outward, like a bubble forming under the surface. This happens when the internal structure of the tire gets damaged, usually from hitting a pothole or curb too hard, and it's one of the most dangerous things you can ignore. That bulge is a weak spot, and it can blow out without warning, especially at highway speeds. Imagine going 70 miles per hour and suddenly losing a tire. The results can be catastrophic. Vibration is another huge tell that something's wrong, and it's one of those things people feel but brush off as normal. If your steering wheel shakes or you feel a constant vibration while driving, your tires are trying to communicate with you. Sometimes it's a balance issue, which is fixable, but other times it means there's internal damage, flat spots, or uneven where that's beyond repair. I remember driving a car where the whole dashboard would vibrate around 50 miles per hour, and I convinced myself it was just the road surface. Turns out, the tires had developed flat spots from sitting in one position for too long, and the vibration was the tire thumping against the road with every rotation. New tires completely transformed the ride, smooth as butter, and I kicked myself for waiting so long. Uneven wear patterns are like detective clues that tell you exactly what's going wrong with your car. If the inside or outside edge of your tire is wearing down faster than the center, that's a sign your alignment is off, and while you might think you can just rotate the tires and keep going, the damage is already done. Once a tire wears unevenly, it can't perform safely even if you fix the alignment. If the center of your tire is more worn than the edges, you've been overinflating your tires, basically running them too hard and causing premature wear. And if you see patchy bald spots or scalloped patterns, that usually means your suspension is shot or your tires are severely out of balance. Each of these patterns is your car begging for attention, and ignoring them doesn't just mean buying tires sooner, it means risking your safety every single time you drive. Here's something most people never consider. The type of driving you do matters just as much as the miles you put on. If you live in a city and do mostly stop-and-go traffic, your tires wear differently than someone cruising on highways. If you take corners hard, accelerate aggressively, or brake late, you're shaving life off your tires with every trip. Temperature swings, road conditions, even the quality of the roads you drive on all play a role. I've seen tires last 80,000 miles on highway cruisers and barely make it 30,000 on cars that navigate rough city streets every day. There's no one-size-fits-all answer, which is exactly why you need to stay vigilant and check your tires regularly instead of just waiting for some magic mileage number. Now let's get into something that could save you from getting stranded: seasonal considerations. If you live somewhere with serious winters, you've probably heard about winter tires. But here's what's critical: all-season tires lose their grip when temperatures drop below 45 degrees Fahrenheit. The rubber compounds literally harden, and your stopping distance increases dramatically. Winter tires are made with special rubber that stays flexible in freezing temperatures, and the tread patterns are designed to bite into snow and ice. But here's the kicker: you can't run winter tires all year round because that soft rubber wears out super fast in warm weather. So you're looking at either swapping tires seasonally or accepting reduced performance and safety. And if your all-season tires are already worn down and winter's coming, you're basically asking for trouble every time you hit the road. Let me give you the real wake-up call. Tires are not the place to cut corners or procrastinate. I get it, new tires are expensive. Nobody wants to drop $500 to $1,000 or more on something that just sits there and rotates, but think about what you're actually buying. You're buying grip, stopping power, control, and peace of mind. You're buying the confidence that when you need to swerve to avoid an accident, your tires will respond. You're buying insurance against sliding through an intersection in the rain or losing control on a curve. Compare that cost to a single emergency room visit, a totaled car, or worse, and suddenly new tires seem like the bargain of the century. Here's your action plan, the stuff you can do today, right after watching this video. First, go outside and do the penny test on all 4 tires, not just one, because tires don't always wear evenly. Second, find that DOT number and calculate the age of your tires. Third, get down and inspect for cracks, bulges, or any damage you might have missed during your normal walk-around. Fourth, pay attention to how your car feels when you drive, vibrations, pulling to one side, or any unusual noises that seem to be coming from the tires. And fifth, if you find anything concerning or your tires are more than 6 years old, Schedule an appointment with a trusted mechanic or tire shop for a professional inspection. Don't wait, don't assume it'll be fine for another month, because that's exactly the mindset that leads to preventable accidents. The truth is, knowing when to replace your tires isn't rocket science, but it does require you to be proactive instead of reactive. Your car can't text you when something's wrong. It communicates through sounds, vibrations, and visual cues that are easy to spot once you know what to look for. Every single warning sign I've talked about today is something you have the power to check yourself. No special tools needed, no mechanic required for the initial inspection. You're in control of your safety, and that's an incredibly empowering feeling once you embrace it. So if this video opened your eyes to something you didn't know before, if you learned even one new thing that could keep you safer on the road, do me a favor. Smash that like button so more people can see this information. Share it with your friends and family, because chances are they're making the same mistakes with their tires that you might have been making. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because we're just getting started with deep dives into car care that actually matter, the stuff that saves you money and keeps you safe. And here's my question for you. Drop a comment right now telling me what country you're watching from, because I love seeing how far this community reaches, and I want to know where all my fellow car enthusiasts are located around the world. Let's build this community together, one safe driver at a time. Now get out there, check those tires, and drive safe.